What is up, everyone? This is the Dark Iron Gains Community Fitness Podcast, Episode 2. So far, so good. We are doing this on a weekly basis, as I said before. So we've been pretty consistent. Week 2, 2 weeks down, being consistent. So I hope to continue to provide consistent and valuable content to you guys as we continue this journey on the Dark Iron Gains podcast, community fitness podcast, that is. So, community fitness podcast episode 2. What are we going to talk about? Honestly, I could really talk about whatever. This podcast is meant to just basically talk and share my thoughts and connect with everyone out there who's willing to listen. So, just a couple things I want to share. I am working to get those shirts up and printed. The It's Okay to Be a Lifter shirt. I know I haven't been that great at getting them restocked, and that is something I'm definitely working on. But as I said in the last podcast, there's a lot of great things happening in my life that require a good amount of time and, unfortunately, a really good amount of money. So, like I said, I am definitely trying to get those shirts up and going. If I have to, I'll probably go through like some sort of third party, maybe just have them printed, sort of like how the Milk Gang shirts are. Quality shirts, by the way. Pick up a Milk Gang or a Forklift Mode shirt through RPE's store. If you are looking for that shirt, feel free to message me and I'll send you the link, as I am an affiliate. So anyways, I might go through whoever's hosting his shirts and just get them out there. That way you guys can order them instead of having to print them myself. The last round of shirts we did, it was all printed by me and fellow Reuter in chief, at least mentally a Reuter. It was me and Punished Thrax. So if you're not following Punished Thrax, follow him. He does all my edits, and he also helps me abundantly with everything on the back end when it comes to t-shirts and sending stuff out. And we also have a Discord going that I haven't put much time or effort into, but I will get on the ball with that. But anyways, so as I said before, we are doing this on a consistent basis. Last night, I did a live stream, and for a brief 5 seconds, a brief moment, I spoke about the term adulting. When people say, I'm adulting today, it's like a lot of people my age, which would be the mid to late 20s, they tend to think that going out and being responsible is something to be commended for, right? They think it's something to be, they want a pat on the back for doing what they're supposed to do. And, that's why a lot of their lives are in shambles, because they're not willing to do what they're supposed to do without others sort of acknowledging that they are doing what they are supposed to be doing. So I'll talk a bit about that, and then maybe we'll move on to whatever comes to mind. This is just a free zone, baby. All right? Free zone to speak. If I had a guest on here, they could interrupt me at any moment. They could say whatever they wanted, and I would not be mad. We could talk about anything on here, but for right now, I'm going to talk about adulting, all right? So a lot of people, as I said, a lot of people my age tend to go out and pay their bills and think all of a sudden that, you know what, I'm adulting today. I deserve a mimosa. I'm adulting today. I'm going to grab mimosas with the girls. I'm adulting today. But just because you go out and you pay your bills on time doesn't mean that you are a responsible adult if you only do it every so often, right? I mean, if you only pay your bills on time half of the time, you're not adulting in any sense of the word. And honestly, the word shouldn't even be a word. You should just own up, right? Do what you're supposed to do. Be responsible and own up and pick up after your own mess, right? I mean, if you sign a deal and you go to get a car and they're like, all right, well, you have monthly payments of $340 a month, whatever. And you sign the contract and you're cool with it and you drive off the lot, and 6 months down the line, you say, hey, I don't have $300 or however much. So I'm just not going to pay it this month, right? I've been paying it for 6 months now. I'm just not going to pay it this month because I think I want to use the $300 for, buying a new gaming chair or whatever, getting mimosas with the girls. So you blow $300, you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're not responsible, and then now all of a sudden the repo guy's at your front door asking, hey, let me take that car, because you're not paying on it. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. And so you've dug your own grave in that way, just because you never realized that instead of sitting there asking for some sort of recognition for paying your bills, you were instead of paying your bills like you were supposed to, you were looking for some sort of recognition for paying your bills like you were supposed to. And so when you didn't get that, you decided to let it slip, and now you're 6 foot under and the guy's repoing your car because you didn't own up to your own responsibility. People, it's like people in their late 20s and mid to late 20s, it's like, man, it's like people don't know how to conduct themselves in a way to where their life isn't such a mess. And I think, honestly, it has a lot to do with just lack of responsibility. They don't grow up. A lot of people don't grow up knowing what it's like to be a responsible human. And I think when you're responsible with your time and when you're responsible with your possessions and so on and so forth, your money, blah, 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 it leaks into all other aspects of your life, and you have some semblance of control over your life. If you're responsible and you can handle things, even small things, if you can keep up with the dishes in the sink, right? If you live on your own and your sink is constantly full and you can't keep up with the dishes, it's like, dude, you're the only one making those dishes, bro. Like, clean. If you use one plate, it doesn't take 2 seconds to just rinse it off and throw it in the dishwasher, right? Or, for me, I have a cat, and so I have to do his litter literally every day, and I couldn't imagine having more than one cat because it's just doing his litter every day is honestly, I hate doing litter just because you're dealing with cat shit and piss and cum. my cat comes in the litter box, and then I got to clean it out. But no, it's you got to clean all of it out, and I clean his litter box multiple times a day. And I also have to sweep up because he throws litter everywhere. But I do it all the time, right? I'm being responsible, and no one's there to really see me like, oh, good job. You cleaned up your cat's shit, piss, and cum. Good job. You swept up all that cat litter and all the shit on the floor because he missed his litter box. Good job, bro. No, nobody says that, all right? I just do it because I know that I don't want my house to be a mess, and I don't want it to smell like cat shit, piss, and cum. I don't want my house to smell, so I do the litter. I don't want my house to get roaches, so I do the dishes, and I tend to make my bed in the morning, and I go through and I clean my house at least once a week just to make sure it's all nice and tidy. Not that I have many people over, but I like to have it tidy because I think your environment definitely plays a role on your mental state. If you're in a messy environment, you're probably not going to feel like you have any control over your life. But if you're in a nice, clean, organized environment, free of cat shit, piss, and cum, then you're going to feel like you have some sort of control over your life. And if you can handle the small responsibilities in life, right? You condition yourself to handle these things, like doing the small stuff, like vacuuming, doing the laundry, folding the laundry, going to the gym on a consistent basis, just the little things. If you have control over that, and if you can make yourself do all those little things, when it comes time for you to do the bigger things, it's like nothing, right? It's like, oh, I got this, I can do this, right? all of a sudden it's no chore to pay your bills on time because you're organized in your house, right? You're organized at home, so now you can be organized in your finances. I mean, just take the same principles and the same skills that you learn from organizing yourself at home and apply it to organizing your finances, right? I mean, keep your finances clean and in order and nice and tidy. Don't go splurging and spending money on stuff that you're not gonna need, or stuff that you can't necessarily afford at that time, due to other responsibilities that you've signed up for. So when it comes to being a responsible person, if you start off small and work your way up, all of a sudden the big things are like nothing. You sit there and you're like, man, this is easy, bro. Like, everything's just falling into place. And now it seems like you're in control because you've demonstrated to yourself that you have personal responsibility and some discipline, and you can almost take on any responsibility because of that. As long as you're smart about it and you don't sign up for too many things and you don't stretch yourself too thin, you can do stuff on a consistent basis, like pay your bills, and you can do stuff like clean your room and rack your weights and take a shower every day. Just small stuff, and you can tackle the world because now you're in control, and you almost control your own destiny with that, right? When you, like I said, starting off small, building up bigger. It's the same with working out, right? I mean, you start off, when you first go to the gym, you're not sitting there, benching however much, 315, right? You're not sitting there doing, 405 deadlifts right off the bat, unless you're like some sort of genetic freak with autism strength or something. But, you're not sitting there doing anything insane, right? I mean, you kind of go in and you work your way up. You start from the ground up when you go to the gym. I mean, you slowly start to learn the movements. You get comfortable with those movements, and then all of a sudden, you're doing some real weight, right? And from there, you've built a base. You're benching 135, and you're doing it for reps. You're doing clean reps of 135 on bench, and now all of a sudden you can do 175 after a few weeks, and you keep at it. And then all of a sudden you can do 215, you could go up as long as you keep going and you're consistent with it and you start off small. You start off small and you grow with it. You can you go to the bigger numbers over time, right? It doesn't happen overnight. And that's the same with personal responsibility, when it comes to stuff like that. Speaking of working out, by the way, I've been eating a lot more consistently as well. My diet has faltered. And by the way, I'm not perfect at this stuff, right? When I say this stuff, it's stuff that I inherently know, but it's stuff that I'm not perfect at. It's stuff that I preach and that I try to apply, but I don't have it down to a T, right? I mean, I'm not perfect at it. I slip up sometimes. One of those times being my diet. The past couple months, I work, like I said in my last podcast, I work a blue-collar type job, and I'm on the road a lot. And what I was doing for a while is I would meal prep, and I would stop at a gas station and heat up my food, which honestly is the best way to do it. If you're in any sort of field service position, if you're like a cable guy, a road mechanic, whatever, I recommend stopping at a gas station and microwaving your food, because it's definitely optimal. Especially if you're working 12 hours a day, bring 2 meals with you. Stop, microwave one, at 11, whatever. Microwave the next one at like 2, and then by the time you get home, you're ready to hit the gym. But anyways, as I said, now, back a few months ago, I wasn't eating throughout the day like I should. I was kind of waking up, drinking a cup of coffee. I was drinking water, keeping my water intake relatively high. And I was peeing all the time, and I still do. But I wasn't eating like I should. And so my gains started to falter. They started to slip. I wasn't so strong anymore. Not that I'm really that strong now, but my strength did decline. And I noticed it was because I wasn't eating as much anymore. So what I started doing more recently is I've been meal prepping like I was. And of course now I threw in 2 shakes a day. So I'll drink a shake in the morning with my cup of coffee. And then I'll I'll eat my meal at 11. And then I'll drink another shake shortly after my meal. And then I'll come home and eat another meal. So that's already 4 meals. I count shakes as meals, even though, God bless me rich. It's not real food, but I still count it as calories. So it's calories in. That's all that matters to me. But anyways, so that's basically 4 meals down, right? That's I don't know how many calories that is. I don't track it, but it's a good amount. It's enough to get me in the gym and to have some energy to basically kill it in the gym while I'm there. And I've also noticed while I eat more throughout the day, I can think better. I'm more cognitive. I can think. I have more energy. I'm not as sluggish. I'm up. I'm ready to go. And it's because I'm getting those calories in. My brain has something to replenish all the protein it's burning from thinking about all the hard work I do. So, now and then I'll come home from the gym and I'll eat like a meal. And by the time I get home and go to the gym and everything, it's already like 8 o'clock. And so it's after the meal, it's like 4 meals a day. I'll be in bed by like 10 o'clock. I go to bed relatively early because I'm an early bird, because I have to be, only because I have to be, because I have to get up for work in the morning. Like so many of you listening right now, we all have regular jobs we have to do. We can't stay on the internet all night and all day. And for those of you who do, I'm not dogging you. I wish I was in your shoes. Some of y'all are in college or even in high school or whatever. Enjoy it while you can, because you're going to miss those days. Anyways, so yeah, I'll get like 4 meals in throughout the day, and I've noticed that my strength has gone up substantially. I'm starting to get back to where I was when I was eating properly, because my strength declined a good amount, and I didn't decline too bad. I mean, I was benching. My goal had been last year to get to bench 315, and I was. And, towards November, for some reason, it just started slipping and it got down to 275. And it had to be because I wasn't eating. And now it's back up to about 295, which I did today. So it's getting back up there just because I'm eating a little more and doing all that. I've also been doing a lot more cardio, just because I'm trying to cut as well, even though it doesn't sound too smart to try and gain strength and lose fat, but I think I have enough sort of water and fat that I won't be eating away at my muscle anytime soon. It's a bit bro science-y, but I listen to a lot of Lee Priest, and he always says, if you're trying to lose weight, just do more output. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm eating a lot more carbs, and I'm increasing my output, and it's seeming to work for me, believe it or not. My strength is going up, but also whenever I get leaner, I've noticed sometimes my strength goes up, because probably the blood flows a little better, and you're breathing a lot better, you're getting more oxygen, so on and so forth. Whatever bro science you want to say about it. I can't go into any details. I don't know like all the real science behind it. I'm not going to sit here and talk about, the mitochondria breaks down the nucleus. I'm not going to sit here and give you another 2-hour rant about something you can watch Thomas DeLauer talk about. But nothing against those guys. I just don't know any of that, right? I can't sit here and talk to you for 2 hours about the science of why something works, because I don't really care. I know what works for me, and I'm sure there's stuff that works better, but, what I've been doing hasn't really been hurting, and it's been working, so why change it? I'm having fun doing it, I'm not trying to be a pro. I'm not trying to be, some crazy, whatever athlete. I'm just trying to look good so I can go to the beach and stunt on all these Hispanic families that hang out there. Myself being a Hispanic person. So, anyways, that's basically the end of the Dark Iron Gains podcast. Dark Iron Gains Community Fitness Podcast, Episode 2. There is zero editing that goes into this, as some of you might be able to notice. The next one, I might switch up the formula a little bit. I might actually set up a camera and kind of talk to it, do whatever. I'll probably have someone with me, so expect that next week. And, of course, by the way, I'm a 5% brand ambassador, and someone out there, one of you crazy followers, thank you, actually used my discount code. So I got $3 from 5% Nutrition. So whoever that was, thank you, sir. You spent $30 and I got $3 from it. So thank you. That's like a cup of coffee or even a Fairlife protein shake at the gas station when I stop for my meal. So thank you. I am abundantly grateful, and that's not sarcasm. So use my discount code at checkout if you're on the market for supplements. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not going to sit here and try and convince you that you need to buy something when you don't. But I will say that the 5% nutrition supplements that I've used, which is the creatine and the BCAAs and the pre-workout, and also they have the full as FARC supplement. Those have all worked really good for me. The creatine and the BCAAs have been awesome. I definitely notice my strength goes up when I'm on them. The full as FARC also works. It definitely helps with my pumps. And the pre-workout's pretty good. I'm not going to say it's the greatest, because I took Jason Genova's pre-workout, and that one was insane, which it sounds crazy, I know, but his pre-workout, if you're looking for some sort of joyride, if you want to stay up for 3 days in a row, take his pre-workout, because it'll do wonders. But the 5% nutrition supplements are actually legit, and I'm not sitting here, trying to sell you on it. So if you're on the market, feel free to try it. And if you do want to try it, use my discount code. It's just one word, Dark Iron, at checkout. So you'll get 15% off or something. But anyways, thanks again, you guys, for listening to the Dark Iron Gains Community Fitness Podcast, Episode 2, baby. We are on a roll, so look out for the next episode next week. Y'all have a good one. Peace.